Of what Jaina is doing for the whole world. What we talked about sending equipment to India, World Community Service has been doing it. I'm going to quickly go through the mission and some of the projects that we have done and some of the projects that are in line from World Community Service. The theme of this convention, the global impact, goes hand in hand with what World Community Service is doing. World Community Service was established in 1991. This is one of the committees of Jaina which deals with humanitarian services. The mission of World Community Service is to provide humanitarian services all around the world, keeping in mind the Jain principles and guidance. So what we really do is, I'm going to show you some of the projects that we have done right from 1991. Prakash Mehta, who is the chairman of World Community Service, couldn't make it, so I am presenting this on his behalf. This committee was formed in 1991 by Dheeraj Shah, and we started our projects in 1991. The first project we took was earthquake in Uttar Kashi, in Uttar Pradesh. People were dying of cold, and World Community Service was there to help them. There was a drought in Gujarat the same year, and the animals were dying because of lack of food, and Jaina was there to help feed those animals so that they are not sent to the butcher house. A lot of times people ask me, how do you connect World Community Services, humanitarian services with the Jain, the core religion of Jain? Well, Jainism believes that all souls are equal, and serving Jain or serving a non-Jain does not matter. They are all equal, and World Community Service does not discriminate whether you are a Jain or a non-Jain. Wherever there is a disaster, we try to go help them, and I'm going to go through some of the projects that we have done. Ahimsa is our, non-violence is our basic principle, and by saving these animals, we saved a lot of animals from going to the butcher house. In 1992, we had organized a medical camp in Kutch. Why I mentioned here is this got us recognized in more than 30 institutions, and we were also recognized by the Speaker of the Parliament and the Ministry of India. So Jaina in 1992 was recognized at that scale. In 1993, there was another earthquake in Latur, and we actually adopted 1,500 orphans and helped a village with 55 houses. And we also created a primary school. Let me tell you what we do. When there is an earthquake or when there is a flood, famine or any kind of disaster, we first see the assessment on what is going on. And then we send out appeal letters to all the Jaina families here. We have more than 100,000 plus members. We send out emails. And if there is a real cost, there is no deficiency for money. The funds just flow in. We don't have, high fundraising events in the hotels or anything like that. Purely people are their conscious. They send money, and we have raised about $2.5 million in the last 10 years. And these are some of the projects that we have done. I'm going to quickly skip because I have to go to the second session again. We actually, there was an earthquake in California. We collected funded money from here. We were actually awarded the Institution of the Year from American Red Society because in 1995 we helped the refugees of Rwandan Civil War. In 1996, someone was asking someone about sending equipment to India and all that customs and all that things. In 1996, we were actually provided a registration under the Indo-US Bilateral Act of 1966, which means that we were able to send equipment to India without custom duties. It became easier for us to send equipment. The way this community started is there were a lot of doctors here and they wanted to send their equipment back to India, and we were trying to find out a better way to send this equipment. And in 96 we got this registration, so it became easier for us to send this equipment without going through custom duties and taxes. We were the second institution out of 1,500 Indo-American institutions to receive such an honor. In 1999, we contributed $10,000 to the United Nations. In 2001, when the 9/11 happened, we actually created a fund called World Trade Center Victim Relief Fund. We sent out appeal letters. We raised about $12,431, and we sent it to the firefighters in New York. In 2001, this is one of the major projects that we have done, and we should all be proud of. In 2001, there was earthquake in Gujarat. Everyone, you all know about it. There were 30,000 people killed, 300,000 people were injured, and 3 million people were left homeless. These are the images of some of the earthquake building falling. People were crushed. I have a video which is so graphic we cannot even see it. People are in the house and the building just collapsed to death. And you will see the chaos because the whole town, all the buildings are down. The bread bar, the head of the household is no more. The family is left on the street because there is no house. The breadwinner is no more, and it was a chaos. And so Jaina, and I want to thank all the Jain centers. We sent out an appeal letter. We raised $750,000 for this project. And what we did is we actually created a Vardhaman Nagar. We built 250 houses, and there are more than 1,000 plus families living in this Vardhaman Nagar. Are we proud of it? Yes, we are. This was a great achievement. We were able to talk to the Gujarat government. We were able to talk to the Indian government. We made a collaboration. We had a memorandum of understanding. And then we said, we're going to build this nagar. We built a computer room. We built a library. We built a school. And this 250 homes. And we had our own criteria. We said that it has to be, if the head of the household is dead, then the first preference goes to them. If there is a widow and she was running a business. So we had our criteria, and based on those criteria, these houses were given to the families. This is what initial was, and this is what was converted into, and this is the whole nagar that Jaina has built. This is the biggest project that we did. In 2005, tsunami hit hard in the lower part of India. We actually adopted one school, and if you see the name Federation of Jain Association, Jaina, so we took the whole school. As I mentioned before, the mission of World Community Service is to provide humanitarian service, but we also want to make sure that we spend that money in a Jain way of life. We don't want to spend it just like that. And what we think is the best approach to do is to put it in an educational way, because that helps sustainability, helps the community on a long run. So we always took an education-based approach when trying to work on this relief projects. In 2006, Katrina happened, and we actually built a computer lab there. In 2007, there was some leftover from tsunami, so we built a permanent rehabilitation center in Guntur district. In 2009, this is again a big project. Everyone knows about this Paditana mobility camp. Jaina raised $100,000. We made each individual physical meal to the individual households, and we raised about $100,000. Mr. Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi, was there to inaugurate the camp, and it was also raised by Dalai Lama. There were about 28,549 patients were treated, and we had 10 more doctors and 20 volunteers from Jaina. In 2010, yet another tragedy, Haiti, and this time we had 13 doctors. This is our own Sushil Jain, who actually physically went to Haiti. There were 13 doctors who went to Haiti, and the conditions were just horrible. 125 degrees Fahrenheit outside, humid. There's only 4 showers, 1 tent, 200 people in that tent, pre-cooked meals. So the condition, and it was raining heavily. Even in those kind of situations, we had 13 doctors who went there and helped the Haiti victims. We also collaborated. We had partnership with Sand organization. We raised about $35,000, and we donated 100 rain-proof shelters to the Haiti victims. In 2011, Bidra Medical Camp, we contributed $51,000. For Bidra Medical Camp, usually the volunteers are there every year, but in 2011 we decided to sponsor the camp with $51,000 for the camp, and we helped them do more than 100,000 surgeries. 2012, recently, everyone knows about what happened in Sandy. This is what happened in Sandy in the northeast part of New Jersey and New York. The houses were devastated, totally gone, and so World Community Service got together and said, okay, what can we do? So what we did is we went to the Jaina EC and we said, okay, we want to do something. So Jaina EC recommended us Rajiv Pandya and Sunil Jain, who are locals from that area, and they said you can talk to them, and we spoke to them. They did the survey of the whole situation. They sent us information with the photographs. We looked at it and we said, okay, this school, the whole basement was completely flooded. There's no electricity, nothing. So we decided to adopt the school, and we gave $28,000 to the State of Thailand Middle School to rehabilitate the power and the computer labs. 2013. This is our current affair. Everyone knows that there are floods going on in Uttarakhand area. There have been landslides. More than 150,000 people have been reported displaced, including 65,000 children. The death toll is 1,000 plus, and the situation is so bad. There are no roads anymore. So the people who are there, they have no supplies of food, shelter, or anything. You can see the roads. There are no roads. This is the only way they can come in and out. So there are helicopters. They go and pick up the people from one place to another and then bring them to another place. What we have done, we have sent out, the appeal letters are almost ready. It's going out, and where we will find the local NGOs. We will work with the local NGOs in India to work with them on the relief. Upliftment project, Dr. Shishidhan has already talked about it, so I'm going to skip this part. Now, the question is, why do we donate Jaina? There are a lot of organizations who does the same thing. There are relief organizations. So why Jaina? One of the biggest thing is the Jaina relief operation is carried out by the local NGOs. When I talked about Katrina, when I talked about Sandy, what we do is we talk about local Jain centers. We get people from the local Jain centers. Same thing goes with India. As soon as there is a problem, we actually talk to the local Sangh. We talk to the local NGOs there. We have partnerships with Ratnanidhi Trust and all the different organizations. So we talk to them and we work directly. The relief is sent immediately to the areas that is affected. And the second thing is, Jaina does not charge any administrative costs. We have raised 2.5 million in the last 10 years, and each penny has gone for the relief. All of the volunteers that go to Haiti, they all pay out of there. That's their donation to the project. There is not a single dollar that is used for any kind of administrative work. So it's 100% charitable. And whatever we spend is all spent completely keeping the non-violent and the Jain way of life. So that is what World Community Service is. We should all be proud of it. We're making a big impact, and we'll carry on this as we go on. If you like to volunteer, you can contact Prakash Mehta, who is the chairman, or you can contact me at yesrupesh.com. If you want to donate, go to jaina.org and you will see Uttarakhand Relief Fund project. So please go look at it and donate. Thank you.